Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are live. It's another Saturday night. What is up, y'all? Beautiful fucking people.
Yo.
You're
Besides us usual miscreants, you can see that we got Ralphie and a child with a remote control. Dangerous.
These kids, man.
That is scary.
That's
I
when
used to
I.
always tell my son.
That's how I know to start the show now.
Every
Every week.
Get it going.
Wolf is keeping us somewhat on time.
Yeah.
What's up, Wolf? I used to always tell
like
my son, dude, that remotes were only for adults. It's an adult.
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, Wolfie's beard, man, that shit is looking like that man is looking at. Listen, let me tell you something, man. If I ever flip sides, Wolf, you gotta watch yourself.
Ooh, nice. Every man wants to hear that, and they gets creeped out at the same time. They get creeped out.
Living over probably a week and a half ago, man. I had Wolfie in this basement, dude.
What?
Yeah, he was working close by me. He got to see. Well, I don't want to fuck my shit all up, but he got to see the photo in real life, man.
What?
He got to see he was working around me. He came out. We went and got something to eat. Got to hang out for a little bit and shoot the shit. Love that dude, man.
Also, y'all went for dinner first
dude.
Before.
Hey, Russ, I'm a gentleman, and I don't kiss and tell. So.
Show me on the phone.
All I said was, basement. I said he was in my basement, and then I was in his basement. If you catch my drift. Oh, yeah, it's good to see that dude. I mean, I haven't been to I didn't go to last TFCon was when we had Billy, so I haven't seen anybody in person since TFCon 2019. So he was my first contact with I saw Kevin R a couple times, got to link up a little bit, but yeah, so I was it was good to see him, man. And anytime if you because I know some people travel for work, if you're traveling, always see who's around, you know what I mean? Like if you're going to a different state or something like that, hey, who's around? Can we get lunch or whatever? Like that shit goes a long way, man.
Oh man,
it really
does.
I don't know, man. With me, every time with me, man, I tell them, hey, I'm coming into town. I'm always like, anyone live around this city? Crickets.
Yeah. They always go, okay, have fun, bro.
Yeah, right.
Man. I'm
like, I thought this dude lived close to her.
Oh man, I gave Jose so much shit. He came down here to see Jisk one time. And me and Jisk at the time lived like 5 minutes away from each other, legitimately.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I was close.
And I was giving Jose so much shit for that. He was like, "Man, I didn't know."
Yeah, you can't do that to Jose because he will feel bad about it. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
it's true.
Like I would be like, "Go fuck yourself, dude. I can't deal with you."
Yeah,
he'll actually feel some guilt, man. No, can't do that. That's funny, man.
Sam, why don't you come see me? He's gonna go, "Fuck you, dude." I was good.
Yeah.
I was too busy, man. I had better shit to do. What are you talking about? I don't want to see your crusty ass.
That's fucking funny, dude.
I don't want to spend any time with your stupid ass. What do you want me to do? Yeah,
that's it.
I live my life vicariously for you dudes. I live my life vicariously for you dudes.
Yeah. I don't want to see
I'm not allowed out the house.
Man.
I'm not allowed out the house. He's not without a kid.
He's like,
dude, hey, Ralphie, it's kind of the same. It's not a like a not allowed thing, but dude, I don't like doing shit without my kids, man. I'm weird about that. You know what I mean? Like there's some like if I'll go to bars at night here, maybe once a month. I don't do that too often. But it's like if I'm gonna go do something, I'm like I want to go to a movie, but I want to I'll take one or both the kids. Like I'm like a homebody in that way, I guess. So I'm like. I want to do something that they can do.
I'm the same way. Used to that. Now we love it.
Yeah, well, especially Russ. I mean, your kids. You got adult kids now, so
yeah, they're grown. So like, I don't even ask them anymore. I don't even say, "You want to come with us?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're leaving. Bye."
Yeah. But dude, like when my kids are, so like here's what, like with my mom, my mom and dad are way older than me. Like they're old enough to be my grandparents. They're like in their mid 70s, right? But it's like we'll go out and party together. You know what I mean? So it's like that's what I can't. It's like I love my kids and their age, and I appreciate all the different stages. But it's like at the same time, I can't wait till I can be like, "Hey, Sonny, let's go to fucking Big Daddy's and get wasted on a Sunday." You know what I mean? For no reason, and drinks are on me, dude. I got some. Hopefully, I'll have a little bit of money by then. But like that's the type of shit I think about that all the time, man. Because I feel like if you get to that point with your kids, then it's like you've done it, man. What's up, Vinny?
Vinny Rock. I think for me it's more like a it's more like a I don't know what's the right word for it. I really don't know.
Be careful.
What's the right? I just as far as my kids, like I want to do the most that I can in whatever time that I can, because I know that it's only a matter of time before I become an ATM. So before that happens,
exactly, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, yeah. So Ralphie, me and my wife, we talk about that all the time. Like when the kids are like, "Oh, can we sleep in your bed tonight?" We always say yes. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like there's gonna be a day, and I'm sure Nick knows this and Russ knows this, where they don't want nothing to do with you. You know what I mean?
My kid could care less if I was here or not.
And it's like
as long as he's got his mommy, he's fine.
Yeah. Because like my dad, like he didn't spend time with us like the way that I spend time with my kids, and it's no fault on his. He just worked his ass off. You know what I mean? Dude worked 12-hour days, pretty much 7 days a week, and he was just fucking beat. So it's like I got the summers off. When it's not wrestling season, I'm home by 3 every day, so I got the time for that shit, man. I try to, like you said, Ralphie, make that shit count, dude. And when they're bugging you, hey, come play with me, come build Legos. And I'm like, okay, because sometimes man, fuck, dude, I'm trying to do some shit. But like,
we got time for that shit. We got Lego time. Like, I got a whole tub of that stuff. Like, I got, I don't know, something like 12 or 1,300 pieces of just like random stuff, and I'll just put it on the table and be like, all right, kids, let's go. And we just build.
Cal's always been like self-sufficient. Like he rarely wants to do anything with me. Like
that's Eli for me, man.
But he does socialize with people. He just yesterday we took him to his first video game club at the high school. Yes, I have a high schooler.
Wow.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it?
You said not on me to get too personal in your business. You said he had a good week, man.
Yeah, man. That makes things so much easier. Like, because I've been trying to talk to him, and make sure that he knows he can come talk to me about shit. But he says everything's been going well, and he's been happy, and he's been animated talking about school. So that's a plus.
Like, doing what I do, like most of that, like goofy kind of like kid stuff. Most kids do grow out of that. Like by high school, it's just like the little petty stuff, like the name calling and shit like that. Like you'll definitely still see that in like 6th and 7th grade, but even like my 8th graders, they're kind of just like whatever, man. Like we just kind of, everyone's kind of just wants to do their own thing, and like some kids just like need that that autonomy that you get from the upper levels of school.
Yeah,
where it's like you're in elementary school, or maybe you're in middle school in a certain type of school or something, and it's like you just kind of feel like someone's always like breathing over your shoulder.
Yeah,
and that can feel really stifling to some kids.
Yeah.
And I think because of the way they do classes at this high school, they do a AB block, so they're 2-hour classes, so he only has like 3 classes a day. I think that helps him pay more attention because he has the time to let it sink in. It's not just
and then it's like
bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, because when you look at like the menu of the day, it's not like, okay, I gotta go through like all of these, and like in that 2 hours, like you're getting, because in that case, it's basically like a college course. So like in that same like Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule or whatever, and it's like you're getting a lot in that day, but it's one subject. Or I guess whatever he has in that day, but still, it just makes it seem a little bit less daunting.
Yeah.
You guys bring up. I don't want to keep beating this subject up, but
man, say what you want.
Yeah.
You guys make a very good point, and there's another thing that really concerns me. When it comes to my kids, and it's that my son is on the spectrum, so the way that he learns is very different. And if I'm not in his wheelhouse, if I'm not daddy, if I'm not being his father, then the system will be. And then I'm afraid that he'll get lost, and that's a huge thing up here for me to fight on a daily basis.
I'm scared.
How old's your son, Ralphie?
My son is 5.
5, okay. Yeah, we got a 5-year-old. He's about to go into kindergarten Wednesday. Fucking crazy, bro. And then Sonny will be in 2nd grade. Billy's just fucking eating everything she can. Dude, she's always got little rocks in her mouth, man.
My daughter,
where are you finding these rocks? Like, we haven't even been outside today. She's such a little fucker, man. Like, she'll be like obviously chewing on something. And I'm like, what? So I'm trying to like fish the shit out of her mouth. She was like, we'll just bite down on my finger as hard as she can. Like,
God damn.
Just like going red in the face, dude.
My daughter's birthday is today, right? And speaking of
happy birthday!
Happy birthday to her.
Yeah.
There's a certain individual amongst our little crew right here that has a birthday coming up. But, I'm gonna keep that on the down low.
My birthday's tomorrow.
I know.
Hey yo.
29 never looked so good.
Ain't that right?
Did you say 29? Get the fuck out of here. 29 my ass.
Hey, I still get carded, Russ. Fuck you.
Hey, that's just because they card. That's because they card even old men now. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, Russ, let him have that, bro. Come on, man.
All right.
Why are you trying to take away my one victory this week?
Let him have that.
Oh, gee, Nick, you look so young and ravishing. You're so.
Thank
Yo,
you.
my
You're
daughter,
welcome, beautiful.
I'm sorry. My daughter's birthday was today, and she eats anything and everything. Like, there is no, unless it's vegetables, but she will eat anything, dude.
That's fucking awesome.
Dude, we took her to Stu Leonard's, right, so she could pick her own cake. Right? So she could pick a birthday cake. And she takes this, just enough for the 4, but she picks this little, like a 6 kind of inch-ish cake. And it's really cute. The yellow flowers. They put "Happy Birthday, Sadie" on it. It's really cute. We bring it home, and bro, we open this thing up. She blows the candles out, and like 3 seconds later, it was just a yellow cake with no icing.
Awesome, dude.
And she's up to her elbows in icing, dude.
Oh my god.
Fuck yeah, that's the way to do it.
My baby, man, she hasn't had anything that she doesn't like or won't eat. And like my boys, they would do like hit the food away or turn their head when they were done. Billy is yet to do that, man. I just have to be like, okay, we're done here. And she looks like it. Like she looks like she's built like the Michelin Man. Just fucking rolls, man. So she's
I'm just gonna tell
Cal
you
was
right now.
a really big baby. Go ahead, Russ.
Was he really? I know, right? How big was he when he was born?
21 and a half inches.
Oh my god, I thought you were about to say 21 pounds.
21 and a half inches and like 9.5 pounds.
That's pretty big, yeah.
I wasn't that big Charles in kindergarten, man.
Oh,
I know,
but
right?
the same length as RJ. RJ was about 21 and a half, but RJ wasn't as heavy as Kyle was. He was just over 9 pounds. So
that boy is stocky.
He's a big boy, man. But I was going to tell you guys is be on the lookout for some of that stuff when they're when they're really young. Some of their eating habits. Because and try to put it like just store it somewhere in the back of your brain, and when they get to be grown up, you'll watch them eat. One day you'll be watching them eat, and you'll be like, "God damn, he still does that? Damn, he never outgrowing that."
Yeah, I've had to talk to Cal about slowing down because that dude is just haunching his food like wham.
He eats like people eat in prison.
Yeah.
He's got his elbow out too.
Yeah, just like ready to. Wow.
Like
you gonna finish that cornbread?
Junior is funny.
You want that fruit cup, boy?
Like I watched him. He had, like, when he was a little kid, he would take Reese cups and he'd take them all out the package, and he would he would somehow he'd eat the center out of the Reese cup. I don't know how the fuck he did it, but he'd eat the center out of it, right? What a weird fucking kid. But he still does that shit. He still does it. I'm like, damn. Like, dude, you did that shit when you was like 4 years old.
I eat a perfect hole in the center and just leave the chocolate on the outside.
Do you really? It's just crazy. How do you even do it?
I still do that shit
without breaking it. Like, I would think it would break.
I can't.
Amazing.
I can't eat regular Reese's cups anymore.
Tongue work, man.
Oh, why not? Are they boring to you now because of all the other shit they've done? Yeah.
No, the only ones I like anymore are the big cups.
Oh, the gigantic. Oh, you mean like inside? Okay, yeah. I know what you mean. The big motherfuckers are cool, man.
Yeah.
I saw this 5 pound joint. I saw this 5 pound joint at the Walgreens by my house.
Oh,
it's a 5 pound Reese's cup.
Dude.
Yo, I would hate myself in the morning after that.
Yeah, me too. Because I don't know, man. That'd be
God damn, that'd be a mud baby.
Yeah, man. I got a feeling I'd be a whole cleansing of the system. Lots of stuff's coming out of there that morning.
Fuck all them high priced celebrity shits on TV.
Yeah,
Give you a 5 pound Reese's cup.
Fuck that high colonic.
Yeah, I know, man.
Fuck around and find out.
Damn right.
There's a lot of fixes for that. I mean, you just got get some hot Cheetos or something, go nuts. Onions, you know.
Sam be eating this shit. What you doing, Sam? Cleaning out the system.
Clean out the system, man.
I'm old school, man. I stick to White Castle.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Hey, Ralphie, where do you live, man?
I live in Jersey. I'm about maybe half an hour outside of New York City.
Yeah, because I know they don't have White Castles everywhere. They got them. They got them around me, man. And dude, that's the truth. White Castles looks and smells the same going in as it does going out, man.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
I could never. My family, we always had it growing up, and like I would always be like, "Fuck, man, I gotta eat White Castle." I was never a fan, dude. I can never do it, man.
If I ever feel like I'm stopped up, I order from one place. KF motherfucking C.
Oh yeah, we had that last night, man. I can second that for
yo,
sure.
Maya, that's what Maya is with Popeyes.
Dude,
Popeyes.
You know that you guys know that chicken sandwich that Popeyes made, like last
the one that was stabbing people over. I remember.
Yeah, so I talked a bunch of shit about that, and then like I had it, and I was like, I would definitely stab somebody for the sandwich, but it's like that chicken sandwich makes you feel like you're pregnant. Like I was like, okay, I know what it feels like to be 9 months pregnant.
Yo,
like I get so
it does. Like, oh my God. It does sit on your stomach heavy though, dude. Yeah. It does. You eat that bitch, you're like, damn.
What was that?
Do anything. Yeah, you can't have that like on a lunch break, because they're
not
gonna get shit done for the rest of the day.
What was that one sandwich KFC had? The double stacker with the fucking fried chicken.
That
was the goddamn bun.
The chicken was the bun, dude.
That's what
they have.
Oh my God. Yo, I had to think about that for a minute. That was a throwback right there. Why don't you just say, yo, we're trying to kill you. Pay us. For real. We're gonna
there aren't many rites of passage left in manhood anymore. Try eating one of those double stackers.
Yeah, that's a. If you survive that, you can survive anything. You'll be all right.
Especially at our age, man.
Fucking
oh my God, bro. Oh my God.
That's all change, dude.
I try to stay away from fast food as much as I can, but like sometimes
you're smart.
When you're on the road,
we were awful. Yeah. We've always been awful about that, Ralphie. Me and my wife, because we both just love some junk food. You know what I mean? But since we've lived here, it's been about a month now. We're trying to like just be careful with money, just to see, because like all our bills are all different and everything. So like we've probably only had it like twice since we've lived here. Like just been cooking random shit and everything. So that's been like the biggest blessing. But then it's like we had Taco Bell the other night. I'm like, bro, this shit's so good. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
Yo, Taco Bell is the shit, dude. Taco Bell is crack.
They got those cheesy double
They
beef
brought back
burritos again, man.
They brought back
Sign
the
me up.
Mexican pizza too.
Yeah,
Yo,
dude, that's my wife's shit, man. And she got pissed because, well, she didn't get pissed, but they only had it for like a couple weeks and they just ran out. Like they're like, we
Yeah.
didn't think so many people would like them. Like, why, man? Aren't you on the internet? Yeah,
Have you never smoked weed?
Yeah, that's for sure.
that's what it is, man. That's what it is.
But yeah, they took the fucking steak soft taco off the menu too. You have to
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
order it.
Ooh.
And that was
Yeah,
my
man,
shit.
that's,
That was like the steak, the cheese, the veggies, and the fucking avocado ranch sauce.
That's just fire, Nick. But like there's always like a version of this on the menu. It's just a burrito with like ground beef, the nacho cheese, some rice, and then like the fucking Fritos. It's just called a different thing. Like right now it's a cheesy double beef burrito. 2 months ago it was the beefy nacho loaded griller. So it's like I just have to go in there and find whatever that thing is and get that, because that's my shit, man. You know, it's like fuck, you know, people talk shit, dude. I'll go to Taco Bell, feed my whole family for like $18. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can
man?
you know, get your grub on that motherfucker. That's for sure.
Yeah.
On the cheap too. That is very true.
Grilled stuffed burrito is good, man. Yeah, and it's like what Gort said. You got to go there and just kind of figure out what they got and what you you know, kind of what you like and special.
Shit, man, you feed your whole family for $18. That's like my fucking Taco Bell bill by myself.
It used to be mine, man. I can't put food away like I used to, man. Like I would do that shit, Nick, when I was like in high school and like first couple of years of college, and I think I stopped working out and I just don't eat as much. You know what I mean? Like,
and the problem for me is I only eat like once or twice a day, so I always eat in mass quantities.
Or used to be, now I just basically am on my kid's schedule now. But yeah, when I was in school, well, before I had kids, I'd same thing. I would eat like one meal a day, like 3 or 5, and then like I'd be good. Like I'd drink coffee in the morning and I just didn't get hungry, you know, and I get one big ass meal, put it all away. And...
The best I do, I think, with my weight is when I graze. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just nuts during the day and shit.
You would.
Gotta love them nuts, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, ain't nothing better than nuts in your mouth. What did I? What? That didn't come out right.
If you got nuts in your chin, you got a dick in your mouth.
Jesus Christ!
You're lucky.
Man, what you all been up to, man? We had 2 weeks off. Fucking missed you guys. Well, I talked to you guys last week, but missed.
Sorry about that, guys. My ass was in the hospital.
How are you doing?
A penis reduction is no joke, man.
Yeah, no, right?
They can be rough.
I'm sure
dude.
your back's feeling better now, and
whew, I'm not hunched over as much. I feel a new lease on life now.
He's not hunched over.
Everybody
I
has
hear about
their
that.
cross to bear. Everyone has their cross to bear, Nick. You know,
I got cellulitis in the groin.
ugh.
I heard
So
about
that
that.
does not feel good. And if it gets serious, you get something that I found out about because Evan Fournier played on the Celtics. There's a thing called Fournier's disease. It's a specific bacteria that attacks your dick. And if you don't get that cellulitis put in check, you can end up with basically elephantitis of the dick. So I was like, okay, I'll go in the hospital.
That sounds great, man. What are you talking about?
I'm a pretty out there guy, but I don't want my cock looking like modern art.
No doubt. No fucking doubt. That is a good point, dude.
Oh my god, man. You got me fucking so stupid.
Yeah, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
But like seriously, the thing about it is like being a diabetic, like any little injury down there, you know, that's a moist place on your body, you know, no matter how clean you are, you know, you fucking scratch your nuts and you fucking nick yourself, you can get a fucking infection down there. It'll fuck you up.
Well, yeah, we were talking about that last Saturday in the hangout. I think Ricky mentioned something like, or maybe it was Eric. I couldn't remember, but they were like, yeah, like after, because they talked about like Maya and everything, and they're like, after that, I'm just like super careful.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking about that, and I was like, damn, dude, I mean, it's smart. Next fucking day, I stepped on a nail, went through my shoe and into my foot, dude. So it's like,
God damn.
We took these some of the door frames out upstairs, and like we threw them out. They were just sitting in our garage. And last Sunday, I got all the shit took it to the dumpster or whatever, and I'm doing that, and I'm like pulling these apart, and I just stepped down, bam! I was like, oh fuck, like that was bad, and it wasn't like a rusty nail or anything like that. It was just like in a door frame, at the top. It's like nobody's stepping on it or anything. So I was like, let me just keep it. I told Jackie about it. I was like, let me just keep an eye on this, but I'm good to go. It's been a week and I'm not dead yet. So
and that's always a plus. No irritation after another week.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to send me home with pain pills because it was a painful situation.
I can imagine.
Dude. Guess what they didn't send me home with at all?
Oh man, dude.
They give you some tell you just go get some ibuprofen.
They're like, yeah, dude, you're just gonna have to rough that out, man.
No, he said we're gonna prescribe. He said we're gonna prescribe you Percocets. I was like, okay, that should take care of it. I skipped. I was supposed to have morphine at 6 o'clock in the morning that morning, and I skipped it because the Percocet was doing fine. I was like, just give me another Percocet instead,
Right.
Yeah.
And then fucking send me home to fucking deal with that fucking pain on my own with nothing, you fuckers. glad I'm a fucking medical weed patient because that shit got me through,
I was gonna say, man, at least you made it. You're here to tell the tale,
Yeah, really. That's fucked up, dude. I hate when doctors do that shit. Yeah, we're gonna send you home with this and that, and your mom will forget. Like, mom, how you forget that shit? I'm in pain. God damn it, man.
Yeah.
The fuck?
They sent. I was a real Kyle today, man. They sent me a fucking survey, and I actually filled it out, man, and said, fucking tore that doctor up and down.
Nice.
Dude,
I was pissed.
This summer, man, I've had to do that with PayPal and with Spectrum, who I get my internet from, and it's like I never am like that, like the fucking dickhead or like the complaining customer or whatever. But like they have both like those. Like I probably spent 22 hours this summer on the phone with those two places just because like I will have an issue. I'll go to them with it, and they'll be like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this and take care of it." And I'm like, "Cool, thanks." And then they're just like, "Okay," and then they just like fuck off and like don't do anything, man. It's been Kyle male version of Karen.
Yeah, male Karen.
Kyle, yeah. Nick may have been punching holes in drywall and drinking Monster Energy drinks too. But
well, yeah,
I hate it, Nick, when I'm in those positions. Like I'm always feel like I'm on the phone with these people, and I have to keep saying like, "Look, I'm not like this guy, but I'm really frustrated right now because of this guy."
And then you keep finding yourself in that situation. It's like, what the fuck, man? People, stop!
It's like
forcing me to be.
It was like with the Spectrum bill, they told me they were going to give me this price.
All right, Chad, maybe. Sorry.
Chad, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Eric must know somebody named Chad who acts like that.
Yeah, I think he's trying to make Chad happen.
It's his brother or something. Chad Wolfenstein. But yeah, I've had to just be like, I'm not this dude. I hate doing this shit, but and then they're like, well, yeah, you got this late fee or whatever. I'm like, bro, you made me be late on this. Like I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, dude. And then like I gotta go back to work this week, so I'm like, I don't want to carry this on to the next week, and fuck, here I am, dude.
Oh man,
one day at a time, man.
Well, I guess it's my turn. I wrecked my car,
dude.
No,
but I'm okay. The car is okay. It managed. This idiot was coming over in my lane, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was like, kind of like, y'all ever been driving and you kind of zone out a little bit. Like
every time,
I ain't fall asleep. I just in the zone, And I just kind of, I'm listening to music. I'm chilling. I know. I just kind of glanced out the corner of my eye. And this motherfucker's coming right over, and like not even. It's almost like I think he thought he was gonna. I think he thought he was further up on me. He was gonna get in front of me, but he was coming over to clip my front end. And by the time I caught it, it scared me, right? And I just jerked my steering wheel and went right off the fucking road.
Oh, no.
Damn.
I'm like down in this grassy little fucking ravine and shit, and I'm trying to get my car back up. I'm buying runners. I'm like, oh my, come on, the bridge is coming up. I got to get back up there. Fuck. I'm kirking out, get my car finally riding sideways. And then
did you pull over or anything? Or
no, the motherfucker kept on going. He was going, dude. Some fucking neck in a pickup truck. Oh, damn it.
Yo, one Thanksgiving, everybody was getting together at my cousin's trailer, right? And so I had a little bit of time off work, so I thought I'd go ahead and head over there. Well, they changed where it was supposed to be at the last second. Well, the thing about this trailer was it was on its own land, so I parked in the grass so I wouldn't, be in anybody's way. I got fucking stuck. I had to get towed out of my cousin's house by my dad's fucking mechanic shop.
Oh man, that's what I was afraid of. I thought I was gonna get stuck down in his grassy ravine, but I kept my foot on the gas. I was like, no, the fuck I'm not. Right,
dude. I mean, it's like you said, you jerked the wheel. Like that's just a reflex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's nothing you could do about that.
But I usually don't. It's weird. I usually don't do that, but I normally when I zone out, I don't have motherfuckers coming at me like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, Russ, like anytime, especially when it's a drive over like 10 minutes, which is normally like I'm just driving here in town. It's like I don't remember the drive at all. Like I'm just spaced out. I'm not like fucking being crazy.
Thinking about everything else.
Seriously, like the same mind state that I am like when I'm in the shower. Like I'm just like, thinking about how I could make it better, like how I could make a better sequel trilogy for Star Wars. Or how, you know what I mean? It's just like anything.
That's fucking
but
great,
yeah,
dude.
it's like you don't expect that shit because 99 times out of 100 or probably more, there's nothing, like
it definitely came out of nowhere on me, and I was just like, fuck. But so Anna, this is fun. So Anna goes out today. She goes out, she jacks my car up. And she's looking up under it. She goes, God damn, all this fucking grass under your car.
Yeah.
I said, Donnie, don't worry about it. I said, it'll be fine. It'll just burn off. She goes, that's encouraging. I said, no big deal. So what if it's on the fucking, I don't give a, as long as it ain't on the manifold in the engine, I'm all right with that. Because I got that off already.
Right.
Shit was funny, dude.
Dude, that's just scary, man.
Ralphie's having flashbacks. He probably had to do that to a fire truck or some shit.
Dude.
Oh my god.
There's a
we have
a 75-foot tower ladder in the arsenal, right? And it needed a butt ton of work, and because it's one of only two that they have to cover the entire area, it's very difficult to get that thing deadline for more than a day. And to service this is a 100-foot ladder that's on top of this thing. So you got to grease all of that. You have to maintain like every inch of this thing. So to make a long story short, I finally get it, and I finally get it for the length of time that I need. So I do all my service work. I get it all right up to code. And we release it to an alignment shop. The day they pick it up, we take it to the alignment shop. They finish their alignment. They call us to come pick it up. And as they're pulling it out of the shop, they whack it into the side of the building.
Oh, my God.
The whole back, the last 50 feet of the truck twisted it's twisted like a damn pretzel. And I was just like, nah.
Oh, man.
We still don't have it back. That was like 3 months ago.
That fucking sucks, dude.
There is one tower ladder. There's one tower ladder covering 120 square miles of town.
Oh my gosh.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, that's not really reassuring.
With like apartment complexes and shit all over the place. It's
right. So you're like, please don't let no apartment complex catch fire. We fucked. Shit. Somebody.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Somebody gonna be mad at him.
You guys gonna have a fucking Miami situation on your ass.
Oh my god, dude. God, I forgot that even happened, Nick.
It was in the news again recently. I think they started settling or something.
Fucking awful.
From all the lawsuits
Awful.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. I was like, pay us.
Well, dude, I mean, hopefully, yes, for real. And it's like, hopefully they can get some money. And it's like, not that it fixes anything, dude. But like, I mean, with the shit that happened with Sonny a few years ago, like he got a shit ton of money that he won't see till he's 18, but like he's basically gonna be set for life. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't like make all the shit go away, but dude, it's something.
It does.
You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
like, it's something. It's like you know,
those people that say fucking money doesn't buy happiness, they're fucking wrong.
I mean, you could like that's what kind of like what we said. We're like Jackie and I'll be like, you know, he's not gonna have to worry about a lot of the shit that we had to worry about, you know, in that early adult, like going through school or whatever stage of your life. So it's like, whatever, man. It's not a consolation, but it's something. So, yeah.
You know, and Nick, I find that people that say that are typically motherfuckers I got money. For real.
Well, here's the thing. I got a theory for that. You know, money doesn't buy happiness if you're cheap.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I mean, if you're cheap, you're not going to spend it on shit. So, yeah, good point.
If you're a cheap-ass bastard, nah. If you're a cheap-ass bastard, nah. It doesn't buy you.
I've always had champagne taste on a burger fucking, you know, budget.
He can't remember the saying. You know what I mean?
Unfortunately, it's I've kind of been that way too. It was in the 90s that it started because I worked at this like gourmet shop, you know, where all this fucking food was high end and shit, you know. And then I'm like, but now all this shit is normal every day. You can find it in the grocery store. Like back in the day, you couldn't find it everywhere, but now you can find it everywhere. It's great. like when I used to drink coffee,
What's
I used to drink
my baby Ewok.
I know David calling us bougie.
Dave and House.
Yeah, Russ, you had to discover Publix, man. You know.
I know David calling us bougie. Dave got a BMW to go to the grocery store.
Oh.
Oh God.
Like I was running my own catering business, and like I would do all these parties and shit for people, and it was like I had to find a way to make cheap food look like really nice and like look like it was high end, you know. So, because the less I spent, the more I made, you know. So
yeah.
I got really good at doing cheap trays. Oh man.
If y'all ever see Dave's collection room, oh my God.
Man, that's one thing I'm glad about, that I'm gonna start being able to lock down at the end of this month. I'm getting them shelves. But like Sam, you were talking about having problems with eBay. Fucking I got scammed. I bought some I thought I bought some shelves that I really wanted. I've been looking at those garage shelves, and it was a 2-pack for a price I couldn't believe. So I was like, all right, I got to stash this up. Went through PayPal, thank God.
Yeah.
You know, fucking put the claim in as soon as I found out. It was crazy because like the company was a legit company, but like a scammer made a website with their name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sucks, dude.
Yeah, that's frustrating, man. It's like hopefully your money doesn't get too tight.
Oh no. Yeah, they gave it back in like 2 or 3 days.
God, dude. I mean, you've had a better experience than I have with them. It's like I basically was in the situation with them where like somebody was like getting my account, making these charges, and they were telling me that it was me doing it. And I was just like, again, where I'm like, I feel like I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone. You know what I mean? Because generally, like my bank, like I feel like they always just kind of take your word for it, unless it's like you're doing it a lot, right? Like, or if it's like provable or whatever. But usually they just take your word for it because, like, yeah, you could say, I don't know, it's hard to prove that it wasn't me that did. I don't know, but yeah, yeah. But Russ the Moist. I got that T-shirt upstairs, man.
Man,
Russ likes the he likes the moisticism.
My little sister moved that shit up again this week. I was talking to her on the phone, and she's like telling me about how her dog like was like having problems, having problems shitting or whatever. And she goes, I don't know what it was. She says, then I'm thinking of the vet, and the vet said like he was having like his poop was too dry. I was like, what? And she goes, yeah. She goes, I can't believe she said that. She goes, the vet said we gotta moisten it. And that dog shit in my brain just made me almost throw up, dude. I'm like, oh my god!
Does she know you don't? Does she know you don't like that word? Like, was she fucking with you, or was she being sincere?
No, because she forgot. She's like, oh, that's right. You have a problem with that stupid word.
Yeah, it's probably like moist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going from moist dog shit to the DCEU is a pretty good segue.
Hey, so you know what? How appropriate.
Yeah. That's pretty good right there. Yeah. That's pretty good.
The host with the most, baby.
Yeah, and we brought it up the week after SDCC because like that was everything was coming out kind of as we were doing the show, and you know we kind of talked about just like the nothing that it was, but man, they've had a couple weeks, huh?
Yeah. Ezra Miller was arrested again.
Of course,
and it had like additional charges brought up.
Yeah,
against him, and
it was also disclosed that in between arrests, he's been doing reshoots for the Flashpoint movie.
Yeah, which is crazy to me. Not that they're doing reshoots; every movie does those pickups or whatever. Yeah. But like that they're. I don't know. Yeah, I would just kind of imagine they would be in a place where they're just like, keep this dude as far away from us as they can.
Yeah,
mostly for publicity issues, not necessarily for like, I don't know, safety things like that. But who fucking knows? It's like who would be threatened by? He's such a twerp. You know what I mean? Like he just seems like such a fucking twerp. Like that's a different conversation. Yeah.
But they're doing reshoots. That must mean they pretty much are done with the movie, then, right? I mean, we'll just have it.
Yeah.
Well, so here's. I mean, they were done with principal photography a long time ago. So I do feel like this is
definitely happening. That movie's happening. It's coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like this is late to be doing reshoots. But
yeah,
I saw something today that they were reworking the third act. And that they brought Ben Affleck to do some additional scenes as well. I just saw that in like fucking post, didn't read articles. I don't know how true that is or if at all, but
I thought it was going to go Batgirl and just get dumped.
Nah, man, they have way too much invested in this. You think about $90 million for Batgirl. That's pretty eye-opening, but there's probably $200 million behind this movie at least.
Yeah, $90 million is cheap as fuck for a superhero movie.
Well, yeah, that is. I mean, but I don't know. I mean, it's just gonna be we're gonna throw it away, though. It's not, but you know.
Yeah.
The Discovery executives saw it and were like, "No, you can't do this. You can't fucking put something this bad out in our name."
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it
the writer or the director? They wouldn't even let him see it.
All of it. Apparently, all of it too. So. Yeah, that was to me the biggest thing of all of this in the last couple of weeks was them just canning that movie. You don't see that.
The quote in the article was that the movie was irredeemable
and unwatchable.
Whoa. So you're saying that what they were telling real quick? Let me understand this because I only got part of the story on this. They were saying the movie was so bad they don't believe the reshoots or anything will fix it.
There's
not
enough. Yeah, they could pour us $100 million more dollars into this movie, and they're not going to get anything. And to me, that almost when they canned that to me was like the best news I could have heard. Not because I don't want a Batgirl movie, but because I'm hoping that whoever the Discovery people are saying, scrap fucking everything. We're gonna start fresh moving forward now. You get the Joker, you get the Batman, independent standalone movies. Joker's getting a sequel, but still, I'm hoping it stays enclosed within itself. We can probably talk about that later too. But other than that, like it's directionless, but also kind of contradictory because they've stated multiple times we're not continuing any Zack Snyder related stuff. And I'm like, okay, fine, good. Like, yeah, move forward. But then Shazam is tied into that because fucking Superman was in the movie. It wasn't Henry Cavill, but it was that Superman. And then Ben Affleck's in this Flash movie. Ben Affleck's in Aquaman 2. Aquaman 2 is tied to the Snyderverse. And then you have this Batgirl movie, which you have Michael Keaton as Batman for some fucking reason. But then J.K. Simmons, who played Jim Gordon in the Snyder Cut in the Justice League, plays Jim Gordon in this movie. So it's just like, maybe Flash could have made all that make sense, but like that seems to me just like.
Does somebody have a phone right near their mic?
Oh shit, I do. I'm moving it. Okay.
Thank you,
dude. Every week I do that. I feel like, but yeah, it's just even for me, like I'm in the shit. I follow this stuff. I read the books. I have as long as I can remember, and it's confusing to me. What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
So it's like when EE says scrap it all, I'm like, yeah, keep Pattinson Batman, keep Joaquin Joker, these standalone things. Other than that, like they're gonna want to do a shared universe. Start fresh. There was a plot breakdown that I read of Batgirl, and it kind of just gave a rundown. I'm not gonna go over it, but like we talked a lot, I feel like, on this show and on previous iterations about like representation and things like that. And what from the breakdown that I read, it seemed as though they had a checklist of things that they wanted to include in this movie, and they just wanted to check those things off. Okay, we got this person of color and this transgender person, this person who's gay or whatever, and it's like obviously. I don't have an issue with all that stuff, but that to me, it comes off as pandering when it's like we want representation first, and then we'll figure the story out around all of that. And
it's a terrible way to do a movie.
And everything based on that, I've read a couple people that did early screeners and stuff, that different accounts of different people who've seen it that line up to say that this is what the movie was. And in the kind of picture I get is it was basically a CW show, on the big screen. And
now, like, I kind of like to counter your point with Sandman real quick. I think that the changes in diversity and like changing male to female characters in that was handled beautifully,
dude. So and real quick, Nick, that's not my point at all.
No, I know. I'm saying that it was done well in Sandman.
The Boys does it well too.
The Boys does it well too. True. But like what I'm saying is like they didn't do that in Batgirl. They fucking didn't take the story into consider. No, I'm backing up your point and saying that like they didn't take the story into consideration for the diversity. They just put that out in front.
Yeah.
By the way, Sandman's a really good show. I just want to throw in real quick, and I'm up to I think I'm up to episode 6, and it is fucking amazing. I am, and that's a comic book, by the way. That was a comic book.
Yeah.
I gotta read the comic book. I got
a bunch of novels too, right?
It really, it's really fun. I really enjoyed the show.
There were some prose pieces like anthology stuff that didn't count towards the main story.
Yeah. It's good. It's good though, man. Netflix sometimes hits on shit on occasion, and it looks like they got one right there. I thought it was pretty good.
And he is right, man. The comic is amazing. It's like one of those. It's one of those comfort reads.
Yeah, Neil Gaiman seems to be somewhat involved with this too, which maybe
he's the showrunner, dude.
Yeah, so it's like
they're Their casting is pretty cool too. I loved the fact that they had Gwendolyn Christie playing Lucifer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
I thought it was fantastic, dude. It was
if you read the comic, like the way that they portrayed Lucifer was amazing. Yeah. Like he was male one minute, female the next, you know, and very androgynous, almost like how they have Desire.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. That's really that's
kind of the way that you know, the way that he was in that fucking The Passion of the Christ movie.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like really cool and interesting and different, you know, and but yeah, man, I think like you know, they scrapped Batgirl. They canceled that New Gods movie a while ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, where do they go? Like even Shazam, like in the trailer, they show fucking Flash and Ben Affleck Batman and then Black Adam's also tied to that too. So it's like, not only like if they made that decision to move away from like the Snyder stuff, which I understand why they would want to do that.
Yeah.
But like everything is tied to that 2 years out, you know, like
right. But I think
when are we gonna get Black Adam?
Yeah, I think what we're gonna see is a big pivot, and we're gonna see a pivot to Justice Society related shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that they're gonna put the Justice League on the back burner. You're gonna get your solo Batman project. Hopefully, a fucking Cable Superman of Steel 2, which everybody has been asking for.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys: is Pattinson the new Batman now? Is he, or was that just for the one movie?
That's
a standalone movie.
That's standalone. Yeah. Even the sequel. Yeah.
So
and they've greenlit a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh Jesus! I was going to say that. I made a lot of money.
You didn't like it, Russ? I thought you liked it.
No, I did like it. I liked it. No, it was okay. It was good. It was actually, put it this way. I kind of went into it with easy expectations, and then I really enjoyed it. I liked it. Even the car. Remember how much I bitched about the car? Even the car impressed me. I was like, oh, okay, I changed my mind.
I'm a huge fan of that movie, man.
It was cool,
dude.
I think they handled.
Dude, I'm with EE. Well. I'm with EE, man. I'm with EE's fucking nihilism on all this. Burn it all down and then start something new, man. It's like,
dude, I think Black Adam is going to be dope,
dude. Like, but yeah, that's like they're going to pivot to the Justice Society, and it's like, I love some of those characters, but like, is that what we want? You know what I mean?
Well,
from like the DC universe, like to where all like the main characters are on the back burner. Like, come on! Like,
I think they're going to have to, because they're going to have to recast the Justice League.
And dude, like, to me, it's so messy. Like, that to me is so fucking messy. Where it's like, I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind them starting fresh and saying we're going to do the Justice Society first.
Yeah, I think like what they could do is like, because there's going to be follow-up movies to this. I mean, they got Dr. Fate and Hawkman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dr. Fate looks awesome. He's
Pierce Brosnan. Come on, perfect.
Like he needs
pretty badass. Actually,
he's one where I'm definitely seeing that and saying, "Okay, I want it all." Well, I want it all. But look, he looks, and it's like that's the thing. And just real quick, Russ, like he's done so well at is just doing those comic to movie costumes.
Agreed.
You know, I think they do it better than anybody. And then that's it. Go ahead, Russ.
When I was just saying, well, think about it though. Marvel's had possession of Fox for a couple of years now, right? I mean, okay, they've got their properties back, but they know that the X-Men movies are kind of where all those X-Men movies and all that whole universe that Fox had established for the X-Men was hot and cold, right? Through a lot of it, and a lot of people downright hated some of the last movies they did, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, what are they doing? The X-Men are going to be handled very slowly,
carefully,
very carefully. Yeah. Yes, carefully. I think casting is going to have to be redone.
I'm glad for that too. You know, I'm glad that they're taking their time.
I kind of am too. I think they're going to be careful. You know.
To piggyback onto what you're talking about with taking time, I think that's what they're going to have to do with the Justice League.
I do too.
I really do think that like they're going to have to mention in whatever movie comes after Black Adam, that like, oh, we haven't seen the Justice League. Where are the Justice League?
Yeah, if they're trying to do that, and I'm not Nick saying I disagree with them needing to put that away for a while. I'm just saying that it's like I think it's unfortunate they're in that position because even with us, for us waiting for the X-Men, waiting for Fantastic Four, we're still getting a couple Avengers movies pretty in a few years, right? So it's not like they're shelving that to give us you know, and it just all speaks like it's like how did they, because DC came in 2013, Man of Steel was the first one. This is after Avengers, so like they knew how this shit worked, right? And it's like, how did they not have somebody? Well, they did. They had Zack Snyder.
Yeah, and it shows the problem with leadership there that's who they chose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's
like I really liked Man of Steel, and I thought,
I liked Man of Steel.
This is a good shoot off. They're gonna do well here. You know,
I liked all of it. Like I liked the BVS Ultimate cut, like for what it was. I liked the Snyder cut, like because it's like only because it was cohesive. Like those three movies were three movies that seemed like they went together. You know, which is
I just can't get down with it, man. I just can't.
Yeah, and I know, I get it. And like all the things you said, I totally understand. You know,
I can't stand anything Zack Snyder, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. At first, I used to be a big fan of Zack Snyder. This 300 is crazy, you know. And I remember
that was revolutionary, man.
That's a badass movie, man.
And like. Yeah, like the other one that he did, the what was it, the Eternals, where Henry Cavill played.
No, that was I know what you're talking about. That wasn't Zack Snyder. That was the dude that directed The Cell.
Was it?
Yeah, it's like some.
That was Zack Snyder.
I remember his name.
Was Henry Cavill? Well, Oscar Isaac, the dude that played Moon Knight, he was in Sucker Punch.
Yes. And that was a Snyder film, and that's exactly where I was going. Like
the Immortals, is that the one you're talking about?
Ralphie? The Immortals, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
okay.
There.
Yeah, I don't remember who the director. I can't remember the director's name, but
I think that was a Snyder film. For some reason, I think that was a Snyder film. I think that's where they kind of got in contact with each other. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was a Snyder film. But in any case, what I noticed that he does is that he takes graphic novels. It was a Snyder film?
No, is this dude Tarshim Singh? He's like an Indian dude. But yeah, he did The Cell, which is like a really good. So I joked people copied 300. I think that was one of those movies that kind of did that, like with the cinematography mostly, but yeah, that was a cool movie. That was a fun movie.
I noticed that like with Sin City and like with a lot of his other projects, he was basically just taking graphic novels and turning them into movies. And he's not really like a source material guy.
He didn't do Sin City.
And that was that Rodriguez?
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, and then
I know, but Snyder had something to do with like he was involved with it somehow, like with the whole Frank Miller connection and all that other business. I think he either got pointers from it or he had something to do with it. And I think when it rolled out from that BVS, you know, the whole Batman universe that he created was basically from the graphic novels. Not a lot of it was comic book source material. And you know, what I'm trying to say is that he's not really a comic guy. You know, I remember a lot of the criticism that he got for BVS. He actually came on national television and he said, well, you know, Superman he didn't hear Lois Lane crying from under the water because it was out of his range. And I'm like, wait a minute. Since when is anything out of his range?
And that's the type of shit like in interviews where it's like, you know, like the Russos get asked in every interview, like they're doing the fucking Gray Man press circuit, and they're like, "So how did this work in Endgame or whatever?" And they give a different answer every time because they're probably like, "I don't fucking know." Like we can, you know, we consulted for these stories for these points, and I want to talk about this movie, and it's and yeah, there's some of that, and it's like and again, I sound like I'm defending him, you know, but like I just think that's just a difficult maybe place to be in as a director when they're like, well, what about this little small minute detail?
Yeah.
You know, like have to throw your hands and be like, look, it's fucking made up. It's not real. You know, like we could you know, get hung up on all these things, and there's definitely a line to that, but
yeah.
When you throw in nerds, right? When you throw in nerds, right? We're looking for that it. We're looking for that it factor. You know what I mean? That stuff that's just gonna say, now that is a Batman versus Superman movie.
Yeah,
you know, we were waiting for lifetimes, generations were waiting to see a live action Batman Superman movie, and what we got was that, and a lot of people felt let down. To me, I look at movies and I just look at what they are and I judge them for what they are. And what it was, BVS was entertaining. It was entertaining. Yeah. It was it was a fun movie to watch.
So, like, I kind of I do the same.
It made me angry.
Yeah,
it did make me angry. It did make me angry
I kind of used to think like, you know, I did the same thing. Like I do try to look at something for what it is and what it is, and not what it isn't. You know, I don't. When I critique a movie, I try not to say, well, I wish it would have had this, because you have to look at what they gave you, right? But with that, like, I kind of just thought, like, you know, I just go into these movies and I just kind of take what they give me and I like it. But that's not the truth. Like, there are things that I like that as Sam Mead, like in a film. Aesthetics is one of them. Zack Snyder nails that for me. You know, 10 times out of 10. So I will like his shit more than maybe more than Nick or Russ or you, because aesthetics to me are important. Mm-hmm. Whereas like some story things maybe I can forgive if it looks a certain way to me. Like comic books are the same way. Like I will pick up shit from an artist that I like.
See, like my thing with Zack Snyder is I like everything Zack Snyder did before just Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
And I even have my issues with Man of Steel, and maybe that's more of a
I do too.
I think that's a Goyer issue. He seemed to have gotten
well, I have a problem with all the fucking Ayn Rand shit in fucking Man of Steel. Like,
yeah, but
it was a fucking Atlas Shrugged commercial, so I had problems with that shit. But
yeah, I don't know enough about it to speak on it, but I think like David Goyer, I think his best work was in The Dark Knight, and then like I feel like he just had a hard time like getting a story the fuck out without being so convoluted, like almost needlessly.
No, Zack Snyder is an Ayn Rand fan. Ayn Rand, however you say her name. And so like the stuff that I'm talking about is like the Jonathan Kent shit.
Yeah.
Where he's telling Superman, you know, don't save me and all this bullshit, and Superman lets him go.
That was weird. So like there the thing where, you know, when he's a kid and he's talking, he's like, so what, I can't save these people? And then his dad's like, well, maybe not. Like that to me, I'm like, yeah, I fucking get it. Because to us, the audience, like, no, this is the Superman. He needs to go do this duty, save the world, use his powers. But John Kent, like, that's his son. So maybe he's like, no, I don't want you out there in the fucking streets, you know, doing this and that. And
right,
like,
but it climaxes with that scene where he has to let John
that
Kent
scene's
go.
bad. That scene's bad. Like,
so that's what I'm saying is like they laid the roots for that with that stuff with Clark as a kid, and then climaxed it with, you know, the loss of Jonathan Kent.
Yeah, in a weird way, and I think the way to do that is just, I mean, it's kind of what they did in the original of he's sick, he has some disease that Superman can't fucking fix with all of his powers, right? And I think that's like a really easy kind of arc for him as a character to say, like, yeah, you're a god on this earth, but you can't fix everything. You know, some shit is beyond you. and yeah, like even that scene, like how do you do that? Like it goes against every human instinct to not go and save anybody, let alone your fucking dad.
Yeah, but I thought like the original. I mean, what didn't Jonathan Kent die from a heart attack?
Yep.
Yeah.
So why did they? So when they did Man of Steel and they had him get sucked up by a tornado,
yeah,
I did find that ridiculous because
because he could have saved him, and he made it Superman's choice not to save his own father.
Yeah, see, I don't know that I like that because I don't know that that's something. I don't know that that is.
I don't like that either.
It goes against what Superman is, you know. That's
and I don't like I don't like the third act where like he just destroys Metropolis.
But, yeah,
you know, I can never.
Remember in Superman in the old Christopher Reeve Superman, you know, Superman 2.
Superman 2 takes him to the
moon. Remember they're fighting and he realizes they're fucking hurting people. And he's the one that takes off and makes them come after him out of the city, away from everybody, you know? So that's Superman's mentality. Superman thinks that way. In the Man of Steel, it's almost like they make Superman like a dumbass.
I've heard some defenses of it, and I find most of them to be kind of shabby, just to say like, well, that's where he's learning how to be a fucking guys. I know that. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't.
Yeah.
They gave Superman a moral choice and made Superman fail it.
Twice.
True. I agree.
Three times in that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of times. Yeah, that's true. And
actually, that's the thing. Superman. You know that's the thing. Superman is not supposed to fail those tests.
Yeah.
He's supposed to make the hard choices.
Right. Yeah. And maybe they're trying.
Like that's what makes Superman an interesting character.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
if somebody like stole the tip jar, you know, at the pizza place, and then they ran into like a fucking or like a daycare center, and I like sprayed the place down with bullets and killed the guy, and was like, I got him, and I'm the hero now. Like that's what Superman did in Man of Steel. Like,
yeah,
it's awful, but I thought in Batman versus Superman that they were gonna deal with that.
Yeah,
because he had to go see, you know, in the trailers he's got to go to a congressional hearing and this and that. But then like no, they made up some goofy thing in Africa where he may or may not have killed these people. No, he actually did though. Like he like tore buildings down. So like you have your precipitating issue here. Make these movies blend into one another and make him deal with that shit and yeah. I thought they did a really good job in the beginning of Batman vs Superman. That opening, the prologue with Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
That shit's so fucking good to me. And just like the scene of him, for one, you're seeing everything from his point of view.
Right.
To where it's like, yeah, no fucking shit, this dude hates Superman. You seeing that, and then it's like the shit where like people are running this way and Bruce Wayne's like running into the smoke or whatever. Like that to me is like really powerful imagery of Batman, right?
Right.
And then everything else is bungled in different ways. It's a shame, man.
Well, the way they did it, it's almost like, and I'm sure they probably, maybe they meant to do this intentionally. I'm sure they did, but it's like where they wanted to portray Superman as, you know, he's not perfect, but we're going to totally violate a lot of major principles of his character to show this to you.
Yeah.
So here we go, you know, and you're like, whoa.
And I'm okay with that, with him not being perfect. But then it's like, but kind of what Nick said,
right?
That's kind of who he is in certain ways, which like, makes them. And how do you communicate? Like, I feel like you should be able to, you know, I mean, I got 10 books I could pull off this shelf where people have done that. You know, Superman for All Seasons.
Sure.
Superman Earth 1, right? Like, just, and that's just fucking 2 that I'm looking at right now. Like, you can do that, and
I talk about All-Star Superman till I'm blue in the face. To me, that's the best Superman story of all time.
Yeah, that's Grant Morrison, Frank.
Give Grant Morrison a fucking Superman movie, baby.
Well, dude, yeah. So, and I wanted to bring this up, and I will now. Like, just fucking Jeff Johns, man. Like how anybody in the comic books pictured him in 2013, even of like the amount of work and lore that dude has given to DC Comics, and now he's just like constantly pilloried as being like the villain in all of these stories, man, regarding like behind the scenes DC stuff. Like that is, to me, like, how did that happen? And what is he actually like guilty of? And that's just crazy to me. Like that kind of fall from grace, whether that's even real or not,
Right, because we haven't seen any fallout from it.
Yeah.
Regarding him.
It's just shit that like Ray Fisher said, and I don't know how he went a long time, Ray Fisher, without being specific, which I think was to his detriment. Like, you need to say what the fuck people did. Like, I think a lot of it was like, they did things to me and these things were racist, and there's like nothing else ever came of it. But somebody said that like we can't have like an angry black guy is focus
point of the movie. Yeah.
It's like, so that is racist when you're like bringing someone's race.
When you specifically point out,
if they would have just said we can't have an angry kid as the focal point, then there's room for interpretation. And I would, as a rule, I'd assume that they don't mean that thing. But when you say that, I don't know if it was Jeff Johns that said that though.
I don't know what's been attributed to Jeff Johns, but I mean, it's been pretty bad. The entire publicity around it has been bad. Mm-hmm. Ray Fisher's handled it badly because he hasn't been forthcoming, and that's whatever. That's his right. Whatever is the person that's making the accusations, do it in your time, whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's been handled poorly.
Yeah. And it's also for Ray Fisher, like, that dude hasn't done shit.
Yeah.
I do think, like, you're in a, like you said, maybe it's like you want to give that shit on your time, but I do also think there has to be some forethought. How are you going to release this? What are you going to say? What's your proof going to be before you even say anything?
Yeah.
Because if you come out with something and it's not provable even then, even if it is maybe provable 6 months from that point, people just don't care. So you're not gonna get that same attention. So I do feel like that's something like I think he should have had his ducks in a row.
That's a good point.
And had statements from people with specific with names attached to them. And that's the thing that you're probably not going to get in Hollywood because people want to keep working.
Yeah, true.
So they're not going to say,
but like
producer and that producer.
I haven't heard the other cast members back him up on the Jeff Johns shit. Like we have the Joss Whedon.
Yeah, me either. Yeah, the Whedon stuff was specific and more targeted to, I guess, just what happened, and he's gone. Like he's not doing shit anymore. Good, fuck him, right? But yeah, with the John stuff, yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and the thing, like you said, is he's added so much lore to DC Comics over his tenure.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. I mean, JSA, which Aquaman, we're seeing on the big Aquaman,
the New 52, and
now and newer stuff too, like Three Jokers, Doomsday Clock, which brought the Watchmen into the DC universe. So, I mean, there's so much stuff that he's added in. Like, if you take away like whatever his misdeeds are and just go on that, you're like, oh, great, it's awesome. We have this dude on our team, but at this point, he's a liability. Get him out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and even if he's not, and maybe he isn't directly doing or saying anything out of pocket, his name is always
his
stuff.
he's got that stank on him.
Yeah, it's got that
Right,
stank.
right.
And it's like one of those things where like it just like sticks to you like napalm, you know.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
he might be quiet in meetings or whatever, or maybe be like, I'm just gonna stay out of this, but like you're attached to all this stuff at this point.
And
like,
that goes to another story that posted about DC this week with Greg Berlanti, the runner of the Arrowverse. They're talking about he might be put in charge of whatever DC's next iteration of like a interconnected universe would be.
Yeah, and you said that, and I was like, good.
Yeah.
Because what he did with he like those CW shows were pretty cohesive and kind of even enough in tone to where they all worked with one another. And I think with him, you could say like, yeah, we had these goofy characters and this, that, and the third, but like, I think that dude did the best he could with what he had to work with.
Right.
So like,
and the budget.
So like he was limited in not in budget, and that's like to me like the bigger limitation is character selection. You know, Smallville had the whole fucking Justice League. You know what I mean? Like, it's points, and obviously the budget wasn't what it was, but yeah, like for him to do what he did with that budget and that character selection, there was forethought and planning involved in all of that.
Yeah,
which is what we have not had from proper. Like,
man.
And I'll say
that's exactly where I was going when I was saying what I was saying before. You guys have rattled a ton of names here, and it basically goes down to people. It goes down to your people, who you have in charge, who's making the calls, what that affects the ultimate product. And I hate, I hate to say this because I am a DC guy, but I hate to say this, but Marvel just has the right people. They haven't always hit. They always haven't hit. Well, they haven't always hit. Things on the spot. Like, good, bad, or indifferent. The Eternals didn't hit the mark. Of this current phase that Marvel is in, I think No Way Home was it the last Spider-Man movie? Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, yeah, No Way Home was the newest one. My bad. Yeah, Far From Home was
No Way Home.
One.
That was the benchmark of the entire phase. After that, what's next? What's like the next one was a candle to being as good as that. Maybe Shang-Chi, and that was like they haven't.
I like Doctor Strange, but I know I'm in the minority on that.
I did too, Nick. I did too. Yeah. I thought it was cool, man.
I didn't like Doctor Strange too at all. I thought that was.
I love the Sam Raimi-isms in it.
Yeah,
I did enjoy that. Yeah, sure. I did enjoy that. But in any case,
he always gets his moment in those to just go nuts. Nick, doesn't he? Man? He did it in Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock's little tentacles or whatever. He did it here with the Illuminati fight scene. He always gets his little moment.
They have people. Ultimately, it breaks down to your people. And for some reason, dude, Warner Brothers, the Discovery people, they just haven't been able to get the right. I don't know if they're overthinking or what, but they just have not gotten the right people to make the right choice.
I think just real quick, I think that Discovery is walked into this and seen a dumpster fire, and they're like, "Oh my God, what do we do to put this out?"
Yeah, right.
They're just pissing on it right now.
Yeah.
So one thing with kind of comparing the Berlanti verse to what DC has done, the end of the Batgirl plot leaks that I've seen end with her becoming like Batman passes the mantle to her, right? Yeah. And it's like nobody fucking wants that. Nobody wants that, and it's not because people don't want it's because they don't want a female Batwoman. No, Supergirl existed as a show, and people loved that shit, right? Yeah. And there wasn't a moment in that show where they said Superman is gone and shelved and put away, and now you are Superman. No, they just let Supergirl be Supergirl. And that show didn't even need a Superman to exist. until like
No.
whatever season he appeared in.
Yeah.
And then but that was way down the line after that show had already built the following. So it's like there's a lesson here that's being missed. Like if Wonder Woman had like a male sidekick and then passed the mantle to him and said, "Now you're Wonder Woman now," or whatever.
They tried that in the comics.
Yeah, and it's like, no, I don't want that. I want Wonder Woman to be Wonder Woman. I want Batman to be Batman. I want Supergirl to be Supergirl and Superman to be Superman. Like it's like with super, you didn't have to make Supergirl into Superman to make her matter or to make her be important. You just devote your time into that character and put time, effort, and energy into her, and then people are going to give a shit without being.
Yeah, that's my criticism of like Sam Wilson, Captain America, and Jane Foster, Thor,
Riri Williams. And that was Marvel went through a phase with that. And now they're doing it on the big screen, man. Like,
well, like the way they did it in Love and Thunder was interesting because like she's the almighty Thor or whatever, right? Or something like that, and he's Thor. Yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. I'm like, it was just strange the way it was done, but like I didn't feel like she was a replacement for him.
Yeah,
but I know in the comic book it felt that way because remember in the comic book he wasn't. Didn't he become like unable to?
Yeah, he was unworthy of wielding Mjolnir.
Exactly. So that feels more like a replacement, you know, and that's kind of wrong. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think. Why can't you make her have a? If you want to make Jane Foster a superhero, that's great. But does she have to be a Thor? I don't understand.
I think that they recognized with Jane Foster what they could do better, and they made her Valkyrie.
Yes, exactly. They're pretty cool. I mean, you gotta have Valkyrie especially in the MCU. Valkyrie is like the new king. She basically is running shit. So make her the new Valkyrie. You know, I mean, it was interesting. I'm not shitting on the movie. I know a lot of people have shit on the movie. I didn't think it was a terrible movie. It just some of the writing decisions were.
I still haven't seen it.
Weird.
I'm waiting for Disney Plus.
We went to the theaters and saw it with Jason and Bethany, and I mean I liked it. I'm not gonna say I hated it. I liked it, but there are some questionable decisions they made in the movie that I was kind of like.
I will. I'm definitely planning on going to the theaters for Guardians 3 though.
Yeah, you gonna go over that?
Warlock.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
High Evolutionary.
I've been waiting for this movie, by the way, Guardians 3. I've been waiting for it because they teased Warlock like at the end of 2.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy. And so there's like, and then we've had the Guardians of the Galaxy. We've had all kinds of shit happen, you know?
Yeah.
Since then in the MCU. So
getting back to their plot will be fun.
Exactly. And like the Guardians movies are some of my favorite movies in the MCU. They're wonderful movies, you know? And I kind of want to get back. I want to get back into having a little bit of, you know. Like
I think that when we look back on the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we're gonna call these movies that came out during COVID the pandemic phase.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah,
and I think that I guess we're never gonna be fully out of this fucking shit ever, but you know, as we're normalizing more, I think that the movies are normalizing more and getting and ramping back up to the things that people want to see.
Yeah, I think so too. I noticed that a couple of times I've been in theaters, there's more and more people have been in the theaters each time I've gone. You know, I mean, you know, it is getting better. You know, to an extent, it's just. For people actually wanting to go out and watch a movie, you know. So, but
like for me, like another positive thing that I heard this week coming out of DC was they may be doing a Secret Six movie.
Yeah, and that would be
that could be kind of cool.
That could be a gold mine, like
Yeah.
You know, similar to like Suicide Squad or something.
Yeah.
Who was that Nick that did that really good run on? Was that Gail
Simone?
Yeah, Gail Simone, yeah.
Yes,
And there's so much good stuff they could pull from, man. Like,
yeah, man, and like Catman could become a DC like cash cow.
yeah. If they just like,
yeah.
you know, they gotta play their cards right, I guess.
Yeah.
You can say, but yeah, man, that shit could be so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there was a series in the 70s called Secret Six that was kind of like the precursor. It was like, you know, a bunch of criminals that were put together by Luther to, you know, do jobs for him.
Right.
And he was calling himself Mockingbird. Well, the new series was starting that around the New 52. So like the Injustice League, I think was.
Yeah.
Luther, Black Adam, all those heavy hitters were running shit, and like Luthor was using the new Secret Six he put together in order to like do like small jobs to like make sure his plans worked and shit. It was really cool. Bane was on the team for a while.
Yeah.
Trying to think of Artemis was on the team for a bit. She's
Artemis.
Artemis is cool. Yeah, Artemis is fucking cool.
This is badass.
That's a way to introduce Bane. Like if you were so inclined, you know what I mean, to do that. And I think that probably piss a lot of people off. But I don't know,
dude. Well, see, the thing is, for me, like I was thinking about it. The Secret Six always had humor because it was Gail Simone writing.
Right.
Yeah.
So like. Perfect fan casting to me for fucking Bane has been Batista.
Yeah.
So there's that humor in you know inherent in the Secret Six.
Yeah, and he can do that, and he can actually do that.
Yeah. And then he showed in that fucking James Bond movie he can be fucking menacing and intelligent.
Yeah, that's true.
And what was he? What's his name? Mushmouth? No, Jaws.
Mr. Hanks.
Yeah.
Mr. Hanks, yeah. It's a good name too. I like the name. No, Batista's not
he's
bad.
good, man.
If he's given the opportunity, I think he can show us got some talent. I mean, he's better than The Rock, because The Rock plays basically every character.
I agree, man.
Yeah, the Rock plays every character as himself.
Batista was in Dune. Blade Runner, and Dune, and he was great.
Sure.
I think Dune he had a little bit less to do. I think if you're like, I want to see Batista, I don't believe that he can do anything. Watch him in Blade Runner 2040.
Yeah, he's good in Blade Runner. I agree.
Because he like, I feel like in Dune he's just like doing this a lot, and it's like, you know, he's just being big and yelling. Whereas in Blade Runner he's been the opposite. It's a really understated performance. And
Dune,
I think he's great.
Really, it doesn't really.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault in Dune. I think he's doing what Dennis Villeneuve told him to do. But I think if you're like, I don't believe anybody that he can act or whatever, watch him.
Bad, man.
He's got some range, man. I think he.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all short.
No, that was it. I was trying to fill that air.
I was just gonna say, like, that idea had me come up with a little segment for the show where we were gonna cast like some of our fucking favorite C and D listers.
God.
So we ain't gonna put the guests on the spot first, but I will put Russ on the spot. What do you got, buddy?
Oh my God, you're gonna kill me with this already. I was thinking the thing is so hard and trying to come up with, because again, remember I told you it's hard for me to know what is C and D, because there are a lot of groups in the comic or just a lot of comic book characters and stuff that I like that maybe other people don't like as much, but I still don't consider them a C and D character.
Yeah,
but you know, maybe they are. It was hard. I'm trying, they've already done stuff for some of these characters I like too. Like I thought about Blade for a minute, right? I'd like to see them go into Blade, but not just Blade. And we're gonna have a Blade movie, right? But I
Yeah.
don't want just Blade. I want the comic book Blade where he's running around with his group and they're hunting down fucking vampires and all kinds of other
The
demons
Night
and shit.
Stalkers.
The Night Stalkers, exactly. That's what I want. I want that's what I want. I want that kind of shit, you know, and I would love to see him do either a TV series or a movie based on that, you know. That kind of stuff. That was one that I thought of.
Yeah, because that was what it was. Blade, Hannibal King,
and he had because and Morbius was periodically there. Morbius, and they had other people come and go periodically.
Frank Drake.
Yes, exactly. Black Cat was amongst them too. So you had people come and go on the team, so it was interesting. But I just think,
and that's a good idea. That's a good idea too, Russ, is because they're coming out with that Midnight Suns fucking video game.
Yes, true.
And a new comic series.
So I think you could, you know, and I know vampires are always popular, right? And Blade is so fucking cool, right? He might be one of my absolute favorite DC or not DC, Marvel characters. I'm sorry, I got DC on the brain. I'm sorry. Where I think like he's just like, because he goes into the supernatural world, you know, a lot more and more away from the superhero world, you know. So that's when I came up with.
We haven't spent is at least in the MCU, Russ. We haven't spent much time there in like the supernatural kind of like spooky stuff. Where I'm hoping that we can, you know, like we haven't had a really Ghost Rider, proper in the MCU. So yeah, this could be like a pivot in that direction for some characters. That's gonna be cool to see.
Yeah, I hope that. I mean, that was one I thought of. And another one I thought of was, you know, I never considered them a C or a D kind of group. What was Justice Society? You know, I always thought Justice Society was pretty popular, but I started thinking about it. I said, I don't know how popular they were, because I remember when I would say something about Justice Society, some people say, "Who's that?" Because they're all from the Justice League. The Justice League, you know what they're thinking of.
I think that's kind of true in ways, Russ. Like,
I mean,
I think it was gatekept because it was so good, and like it was kind of like people that were reading it kind of like didn't tell anybody about it because they were like, okay, if you're on this level of a comic fan, you're reading this. Let's talk about it. You know?
Well, I think sometimes too, if you mention Justice Society, you would get that reaction. They go, "Justice what? What's Justice Society?" Like, even if, let's say they weren't avid comic book readers, or they were just kind of a dabble in the comic books every now and then, they're only going to know certain, you know, ones that they read, you know. And you know, if you say Justice Society, they're going to go, "Oh, you mean Justice League?" No, I mean Justice Society.
And I'm glad we're going to see them on the big screen.
Well, yeah, and then this is it, and we are going to see them. I want to know how they're. I'm really curious to see how they're going to do it, though. I want to know what, and I want to know what, like how is it going to go? That's what I want to know. How are we going to start them? Yeah,
and like that's the one worry about the Black Adam movie to me, is that it's going to be too crowded.
Yes, me too. Yeah. Me too. I'm a little concerned.
So I worry with that, of course, but then also, like, are they going to spend too much of this movie trying to set up the next thing?
Yeah,
and that's what I'm worried about too.
Yeah, as opposed to just making a good fucking movie.
And with the society connections, I feel like there's going to be like, I feel like there's going to be they're using this movie for introductions into that, and I kind of want to know a lot about, you know, it's Black Adam. You know, we need to center around Black Adam a lot. You know, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but
yeah, those are two good choices, man.
But I mean, just Society, I feel like we are going to get them in a movie. You know, we are going to get them. So it was kind of a cheat, but I don't. I mean, I'm talking about a full out blown Justice Society movie. You know, that's what I want to see, and I'm hoping we get it. We do get it.
All right, who wants to go next?
Man, I'll go. I got this. You know, I got my fucking books and shit put up, so I got fucking visual aids here, man. So I got A couple of these I don't have much cast. I do have directors though that I've thought of that I think would just kind of fit to this.
Manhattan Projects.
Manhattan Projects, yeah. So if you haven't, it's a John Hickman book, an Image book. Nick Pitara does the art for this, and I think he's just, I know Nick, you're a fan of his because he's similar to Frank Quietly, and it's just not, what you would imagine like a comic book art, but he does a lot of shit like this of like just like these all like they look like Where's Waldo pages, you know what I mean? Manhattan Projects to me has like just this it's just so chaotic and like stressful, and I think somebody like Paul Thomas Anderson would do a good job. If you've watched No Country for Old Men, obviously is like his best known thing. Punch Drunk Love, it's Adam Sandler stars in that movie, which if you haven't seen that, find it. It's great. He's great in that. What Paul Thomas Anderson does, like, yeah.
I was just gonna say, tell him what Manhattan Projects is about.
So it's about the Manhattan Project, like to develop the bomb. It's kind of like an alternate history type thing, which I love in comics. Black Science, Rick Remender did that. Kind of does the same thing.
Department of Truth.
Yeah, the next one I'm going to bring up does the same thing. I don't know why, because it's like Ralph, you said before the show, like you're a history guy. Nick, you're a history guy. It's fucking books back here. I am too. So it's like as cool as it is to read like what actually happened. Like I love books like this where you could tell Jonathan Hickman knows his stuff. In this next book too, but it's like it's just like I don't know what that does to me. What it does where you just take something that actually happened and just like say, well, what if what if this went differently or that went differently? I think like Paul Thomas Anderson, which whoever he does to do the scores, which he has to have some say in, would kind of convey that sense that I get from reading that book. And this next one is might be one of my favorite books of all time, East of West.
I've heard of it, but I have no idea what it's about.
Dude, so it's basically like just as brief as I can. The Civil War like ended in a stalemate, and the United States split into seven different parts. You have like the Union, you have the Confederacy, you have like parts of Louisiana and Texas, which like a bunch of freed slaves took over. There's like the Native American territory, and they're like the most technologically advanced. There's like all the fucking Chinese people that came over here to work on the railroads that took over the western United States, and then there's just like kind of in the Great Plains now is like this dead portion of the country. It's fantastic, man.
Oh wow!
I can't recommend enough. It's John Hickman. Like the art, I'm not as crazy about. Like Nick Dragotta does the art, and he does an okay enough job. But after seeing Dune, I would want to see this done by Denis Villeneuve, or however you say his name, just because there's so much stuff in here, like with the different nations and like the technology that they have. It takes place in like 2050 something, where it's like I feel like with Blade Runner and Dune, like he showed that he can convey that in a sense that it doesn't feel like super sci-fi, super polished or anything like that. Like all the worlds that he's able to show us, like they all feel lived in, and I think that's important. And I think he would just nail this. Matthew McConaughey has to play Death. He's the main character. He's like the dude that's like all white that you've seen if you ever like came across panels of this. I think he'd be great. I'd love to see that. Funny. And then this,
with movies like that, like any kind of like a futuristic movie, I always feel like there's this need for people to go this like dystopian future, with it, and that doesn't always have to be the case. You can do a futuristic movie, and where it's like an alternate kind of storytelling of like that. I want to read that now that you just told me, because I'm into like shit like that big time. So
well, it's like you take history up to a point.
Yes,
and then at one point,
exactly.
Just something goes different than what.
Yeah.
Than like as we know it, right?
It's like the
And
ultimate what if, right? I mean,
yeah. It's a parallel universe, right? Like one thing
Sure.
changes, and then just the last one. And I don't know how this didn't happen between 2005 and 2008, but Frank Miller's Ronin, dude.
Ronin.
It's a little it's okay. You know what I mean? Like it's a little 4-issue like DC book that came out. Frank Miller wrote it, did the art for it, mostly just because between like 300 and Sin City and fucking Spirit, how did this not happen? You know,
Sin City 2.
Yeah, I don't know who I'd want to see direct that. I don't care. I just want to see that get made.
That's pretty
The
awesome,
Wachowskis.
The Wachowskis.
Yeah. They'd be good. They'd be good.
All right, Ralphie, what you got for us, buddy?
C-list or D-list type characters. I would think, since we spoke, another couple names came up. But initially, when you first told me, the first one that I thought was very interesting, and I would love to see it either an animated movie or like even a motion picture. If you did Constantine, Resurrection Man. And I don't know how many of you remember Resurrection Man. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he had a very particular set of skills where he would die. And in some cases, I remember some issues, he actually killed himself in order to come back with higher powers. He had this ability where he would die and sometimes come back with these relatively benign powers, and then sometimes he would come back with like these godlike powers. And to me that was like super interesting. But again, that was just like a concept that I was like, it reminds me of Constantine. And if you made an interesting movie like that, why not? Why not?
That's
why
kind of
not?
awesome, actually.
There was another character that I'm kind of dating myself a little bit here, but the very first comic book I ever bought was in 1979, maybe early 80s. It was the Blue Devil. And
Blue Devil, yeah.
I remember the Blue Devil, yeah.
The Blue Devil to me was a freaking badass. For people watching or people listening that don't know who the Blue Devil is, it's a pretty old comic. I think it only ran up until like maybe the mid 90s, and they had like several annual issues here and there, but it wasn't. People weren't buying it off the shelves like in droves, and I don't understand why. The guy was like as awesome as Batman in hand-to-hand combat. He was as awesome. Like he was a stuntman, right? He was a stuntman who had this suit. He used to dress up as a demon, and he was mistaken as a demon by another demon, cast a spell on him, and next thing you know, the suit is permanent. And he has this trident. He has this trident that became the trident of Lucifer, and he had this very Ghost Rider-esque, very Constantine kind of aura to him. But he kicked ass, and he used to send these demons to hell. And I'm like, dude, if that was a CW show, or if that was like, if that
That's
was
what I
like
was going to ask. Like, that's like, what would you, how would you want that to come to fruition? Like,
if that was like a CW show, or like something they did with Peacemaker, where you could be a little bit more.
That was fucking awesome, man.
That was freaking incredible. Peacemaker was great, but like you guys mentioned before, that's even something else that's tied to the Snyderverse. But in any case, why not the Blue Devil? Because he was so dope. If anybody's watching or listening and you don't know who the hell I'm talking about, do your homework. I don't know, maybe Wikipedia, I don't know. But I used to love that.
Go to a Duke basketball game and you'll see him.
He had these Loki kind of looking horns, and he was just badass. He was just so badass. But then I started to think about the Marvel side of things, and I remember also when I was coming up, I may have dated this wrong. Alpha Flight.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
80s.
I thought of that too, Ralphie. That was
Now,
always
Alpha
on my
Flight.
list,
Now,
man.
if you can pull off Guardians of the Galaxy, then you can pull off Alpha Flight.
Yeah,
And you have
yeah.
you have this following for Wolverine, and these people had their origins off the Wolverine story.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah,
love to
that's
see.
easy, man. Like what?
I remember.
Yeah, and it's
Alpha
like, what
Flight.
if what
Damn, I
if
do
that's how
remember
they
that.
introduced Wolverine? Was like,
Boom! Like
you know,
do like a
That'd be
Disney
cool.
Plus,
That would be pretty
do like a
badass.
Disney Plus, do like a Disney Plus Alpha Flight thing, and there goes your Wolverine character. I would, I
That's
would, I
awesome,
would, I would,
actually.
I would cream. I would cream. And then, of course, one of my favorites of all time. one of my one of my all time favorites, Rom Space Knight.
Yo, the only thing
oh
you'll
yeah,
never see that because the rights are all fucked up for that.
Yeah, it's like
Are
Parker
they?
Brothers and like half the world has all kinds of rights issues with this thing. But if somebody can somehow figure out to put Rom into the Marvel universe, the cinematic universe. I mean, I he's one of the longest standing Marvel characters that I can remember. Like that issue went on. I mean, Bram, you probably know
Yeah,
better than I do. That went on like late 70s,
dude.
80s, 90s.
The last people that published ROM was IDW, and they had him with
Yeah.
the Transformers.
Oh,
Yep.
really?
that Hasbro
Yep.
deal, right? Like it was
Mhm.
him and like My Little Pony and fucking
Yeah.
Like
whatever.
Rom,
That was
Yeah.
it. I was like,
and I didn't later on like they changed his name to something else. He got involved.
They
with
took the Space Knight off.
Yeah.
He was just ROM.
I thought it maybe changed to Ron, like RON.
Ron. It's
Ron.
Ron.
Sitting at the end of your local bar.
Fucking awesome, dude.
Hey,
But now that
Ron,
Marvel's
give me another
Mar-
bushel
now
of
that now that Marvel's like stretching so far into the space, into like the whole space
I'll
area,
play
the whole
Puck.
space genre. Why not, dude? Why not Rom?
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Rom was so dope.
dude, it's funny, Ralphie. Like when you mention like Marvel, it's like nothing seems out of base for them.
Nah.
It's
Yeah.
like I feel like they at this point have cast such a wide umbrella that it's like there's no character that seems out of bounds or like no, they're too this or too that or too.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Then nothing you.
I want
can't
to see
in
motherfucking Sleepwalker.
Sleepwalker.
Gambit's another one that should get I mean, I hear little teasers here and there, but dude,
Man, that was
Gambit,
supposed to
man.
be a Channing Tatum movie. Could you fucking
Just
imagine?
Yeah.
bizarre, man. Just bizarre.
See, I went Gambit from like the '90s X-Men. I went the
Nick, it'd
sexy
be cool,
boy.
but he wouldn't be able to do an ab crunch in real life. You know what I mean?
I know that would totally suck, dude.
He'd have to be on the big buck.
Indeed, absolutely.
Because of that armor, dude.
I know.
Oh,
Armor was-
He's just like this all the time.
yeah.
Remember, you can't move your neck without moving your Adam's apple.
Once again, pulling back the Christmas Story, that poor fucking little kid wrapped on the
Anatomy 101, man. Yeah, that poor kid that got the Mezco gambit instead of the Mayflex gambit. And then he grew up with a fucking chip on his shit.
It's like, God damn it, man.
All right, so I'll do mine, and then we can get
Yeah,
out of
dude.
here and do a hangout.
Man.
True.
So mine were the Authority.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Alan Moore, right?
Yeah.
No.
Alan Moore was
no.
Alan
Warren
Moore was
Ellis.
a genius.
Warren Ellis. Okay, yeah.
Warren Ellis, brother. Who you had me scared for a second, but Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch started it. Brian Hitch went on to go do the Ultimates for Marvel, and he took that like cinematic style that Warren Ellis had started with him on the Authority and took it over to the Ultimates. But the Authority is basically a story of some members of a Black Ops superhero team that came together and were sick and tired of listening to what the governments and the United Nations wanted them to do, and decided that they were going to do what they wanted to do. So the characters are Jenny Sparks, the spirit of the 20th century. She was kind of like electricity based and shit.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Apollo, who is basically gay Superman.
Nice. All right.
The Midnighter, who is gay Batman Prometheus. Like, he has a computer in his head that like tells him like what you're going to do in a fight and analyzes it, and he fucks you up.
Oh,
that's cool.
Okay.
Then they had a character called the Doctor. He was like their magic character. So he was like the Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate character.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and like I would love to see like Keanu Reeves do that. That would be perfect. They had their Iron Man type character was a character called the Engineer. Her name was Angela, and she had like a liquid metal armor and all sorts of different shit.
Sweet.
Yeah. Then you had Jack Hawksmoor. He was the god of the cities, and that's like a perfect Carl Urban role.
That's so cool.
He had like one of his adaptations as like humans started colonizing cities more and like using vehicles. His feet had tire treads on them and shit. And he could like teleport in between cities and shit. And he was stronger. He was stronger in cities. And then they had like a Hawk Woman type character named Swift, and she was pretty cool too. Their
Apollo is the gay Superman, right?
Yeah.
That's fucking wonderful.
Him and Midnight are married.
Can you imagine? Wow.
So the Batman and Superman of that universe are married.
You just imagine he's like, it's like, quick, Apollo, catch that
And they're
car.
and dude, they're brutal.
My food.
They are brutal as fuck. Like I don't know
cool,
what
though.
arc. I would love to see the first arc where like they fight this thing that is basically a pyramid out in space that
Yeah.
that is full of like Lovecraftian like gods, and so like they were the ones that made the Earth, and like they went away for 1,000,000 years and left it like a petri dish.
Cool, man.
And so they came back and they saw like what humans had done with the Earth and didn't like it, and we're gonna wipe everybody out, and the authority has to stop it.
Yeah, you had your chance.
Oh shit! The authority has to see it.
Yeah. Then my other one was a Marvel book. It's called Next Wave: The Agents of Hate.
I've never heard of that one.
Never heard of it.
No.
Oh my god!
Hey, this is a list, boys.
Yo, this is another Warren Ellis book. Okay.
Okay.
So the characters are Dirk Anger, who is basically like J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson, and Nick Fury rolled up into one character. Okay.
Sounds like a porn star. Go ahead. Anyway.
Then there's Elsa Bloodstone, who is if you guys have watched Doctor Strange and WandaVision and stuff, she's deals with the Bloodhold and hunting monsters and shit. Her whole family is a family of monster hunters. There's this dude called the Captain that nobody had ever seen before, and like this dude is like Captain America if he was like a burnout stoner. Then you got the Monica Rambeau, the black lady that's Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Tabitha Smith, she's Boom Boom from the New Mutants.
Holy shit.
And Aaron Stack, the Machine Man.
All right, the Machine Man sounds badass.
Yeah, dude, they fight shit. They fight shit like crazy ass MODOK, fucking like Fin Fang Foom. It's just out there, fucking crazy as hell. Like Marvel is. Oh shit, Yules, what's up, man?
Hey,
What's up, Yule?
Yules. But yeah, those would be my two choices, man. Like I think Next Wave, because of the characters in it, they could build shit off of. It'd be really fun.
Yeah, and it's like
Wild, dude.
I could see like the easy temptation to go with characters like that nobody fucking knows about, just because like they're almost like blank slates.
Yeah, man.
Where it's like it's kind of it's like you almost just like you need the names. You need the names, and they can do whatever the fuck you want with them.
Yep.
I like that they threw in characters in the story that are names that are attached. They might not be huge characters, but they're known. You know, like Monica Rambeau.
If you were a fan of the Avengers in the 80s, you cared about Monica Rambeau.
Absolutely, you did. It's true.
Yeah,
she was very much involved. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, man.
I agree with that.
It's some of these characters they're bringing out now, like Black Knight and shit, have a huge cult following. Because Black Knight was huge in the Avengers. Cersei.
And it's like there is an appetite. Like I know, like the couple I brought up were like way indie stuff, but it's like you got shit like the Umbrella Academy, like Jupiter's Legacy only went a season, but I really enjoyed that for. I mean, I liked for what it was. You know, I liked the book better, but
you know what kills me about Jupiter's Legacy? You know that movie? I mean, not that movie. That show did really well on Netflix. They only killed it off because of its cost.
Yeah, it was like too expensive.
They just felt like the budget just wasn't.
It moved like a little slow compared to the books, but
yeah.
Well, that's kind of that.
But like you have The Boys too.
Yeah,
which is like another like indie comic.
Garth Ennis, man.
Yeah, that's 3 seasons in now. People fucking love it. So I'm just kind of waiting.
Well, I'm gonna tell you guys honestly, I wasn't into Guardian. Like I had paid no attention to Guardians of the Galaxy at all in comic book form until the movie came out. Then the first Guardians movie, and that made me backtrack and then check out the old Guardians comics and shit.
I mean, I remember
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, when I first started reading Guardians of the Galaxy, these characters were not the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly. When I noticed that when I went further back, I was
hey, what's up, Larry?
I was like, these aren't who I thought they were going to be. These aren't the guys we got in the movie here.
We're about to head off here and do a hangout in a few minutes after we're done bullshitting for a couple minutes. But yeah, man, the characters that were the Guardians of the Galaxy when I started reading were like Sylvester Stallone and shit in Guardians too, like Charlie 27, Martin X, Starhawk,
right, a lot more of the pirate guys and shit and all, it's which is cool though.
Yondu was completely different in the comics.
Yeah, he is different.
He was like tights and
yeah, and that damn fin goes like off his head all the way back. Yeah.
But because
I'm Mary Poppins.
I was with you, man. Like of knowing nothing about him to the point where like when they announced like they were doing that as a movie, I was like, what the fuck are they even doing?
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be a huge mistake, and look what it became.
Yeah.
Yeah, it turned out to be really cool. Like I said,
DC can't make a good Superman movie.
Well, yeah, right. I mean, that's fucking crazy.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Like these guys can take an off the wall. I mean, and I'm not saying Guardians didn't have its following. I'm sure it did, but it's like not like Avengers or other. I mean, it was still kind of
fuck no.
They can take that and make it into a fucking huge hit. And these motherfuckers already got Superman, who is a huge hit already, and they can't make a fucking decent movie. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
silly, man.
Should they get the Nolans back involved to do another Superman?
I don't know. Like, I just want somebody that's gonna put heart in that movie. Because I think that's what's missing from the Henry Cavill stuff so far is just like some heart to it.
Yeah.
See, I feel like they've got some aspects of it down, but not everything. You're not getting the whole, like look, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, especially the first one and the second one. I feel like say what you want about them, but they
got silly.
They did, especially in the third. The third one drove me crazy.
Were great.
The first two were really
especially good. That Donner cut.
The Donner cut is crazy. It's good too, yeah. But there was real love put into those movies. I mean, they didn't FUD. They would budget it out. They brought in actors. They brought in legitly good actors.
So that's the thing with a movie like that, and then also I feel like Christopher Nolan does a good job of this of like just filling out the cast. Where it's like yeah, you have your main person, but then like
Sure.
if your supporting cast is on point, like then that's gonna prop up the movie to a point where where other movies just may fall flat. Like
Yeah.
yeah, those first two though, man, those are great.
They were,
Yeah.
they were the wonderful ones, and it was the third one that got really sketched for me when it brought in Richard Pryor.
Oh
and all that
yeah,
great
yeah,
thing.
that was
And then the fourth one is damn near
fourth one's
unwatchable.
just a joke.
I mean, don't get me wrong,
It's
Fucking Nuclear Man.
yeah,
I feel like Gene Hackman just generally just played himself.
that's the only reason why I even watched that fourth movie is for him, because I love
He's so
him
good,
doing
dude.
Lex Luthor, and his nephew Lenny. And that movie is great. She's like a weed ass spazzed out kid, man. It's so great. I mean, it's like that's the only thing interesting, you know. And the Nuclear Man thing is stupid. I didn't like that, you know. Just like, come on,
Yeah.
How do you remember how he beat Superman? He pierced him with his long, girly fingernails.
Oh man! And
All
on
right,
that
enough
note,
said.
I'm getting the fuck out of here if we're gonna talk Nuclear Man.
Let's do it. Yeah, let's end it now.
All right, man. We'll set up a fucking hangout for everybody and talk to y'all in a minute. Like I say every week. Peace, love, and hair grease. We out. And thanks for being on, Ralphie.
Yeah,
thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, man.
Brother.
This is a privilege. I'm on with Sam, y'all.
No, we're privileged to have you, my friend.
Nah, man.
Awesome, dude.
Enjoyed the time, Ralphie. Be good, brother.
Awesome time.